We're at VRIC here in Vancouver 2019, and joining me now is Alex Klenman. Today we're talking about Azincourt. Where are you trading? What's your symbol?
AAZ or AAZ on the TSX venture.
Tell us about this property or group of properties that you have.
Right, we're in the lithium and uranium space. Our primary asset at the moment is the East Preston uranium project in the Athabasca Basin in Saskatchewan, which is really ground zero for high-grade uranium. 15 to 20% of the world's uranium supply comes from the Athabasca. So we have a 25,000 hectare project with Sky Harbor Resources, and it's heading towards something exciting.
I think that you're right when you say it is ground zero, isn't it? Like, you're not out there in an isolated property. You've got a lot of pretty good neighbors.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you're picking that up because we're in a compelling risk-reward scenario at the moment. Azincourt's market cap's 4 to 5 million Canadian. Our neighbors include NextGen, Cameco, Fission, Areva, which is Orano, Canada. Those are all billion-dollar market caps. So for us to be in such exclusive territory, such a exclusive address, you won't find too many 4 million market caps with the risk reward. And we're heading into a drill season here where we could be on the verge of discovery, and that's a great scenario to be in.
So in such a rich area, how did you manage to identify this property and then get control of it?
Well, all credit goes to Sky Harbor and their partner Clean Commodities. They bought up a lot of land and grabbed a lot of land in the throes of the uranium bear, which we're just coming out of. And they were they're sort of a project generator model where they like to do earn-ins or farm-ins. So we have a joint venture with Sky Harbor and Clean Commodities, so that was how we got in. The Preston project itself is a very large 75,000 hectare project. 50,000 of that is Orano, Canada, i.e. Areva with Sky Harbor. The other 25% of that, or 25,000 hectares of that, is Azincourt and Sky Harbor. So we're in the right area, that's for sure.
You got lithium, which we all know plays a role, especially in battery technology.
Yeah.
But your focus is on uranium. Why uranium, and why do you believe that we're coming out of a bear market at this point?
Well, there's a lot of catalysts. The biggest problem has been a supply glut, really since Fukushima. There's been the disaster in Japan has really cooled the entire uranium sector to a large degree. But coming out of that, listen, uranium is important because the reactors are starting up. There's more reactors now coming online.
And more reactors planned, are there not?
Correct.
Yeah.
Across the world. It's really, literally, there's no border here. The other side of it is the supply side. And for example, Cameco shut down the world's largest uranium mine. It costs more to pull it out of the ground there than the actual spot price. So they're actually going into the market and buying spot up to $28, $29. And that's creating a pull on the supply. Kazatomprom, which is the big Kazakhstan company, they did the same thing. They've cut production. So we're seeing, with Cameco, the MacArthur River was shut down. That's basically the equivalent of Saudi Arabia shutting off all oil production. So these are massive catalysts, and really all the fundamentals are there for the price to continue to rise. And so I think our timing is good. We're in the right area at the right time. It's compelling.
We're moving in a world also that's moving to more green technology, and it's, uranium plays a very, very important role in the generation of atomic generated electricity. What do you see as that demand and the role of uranium as we move forward?
Well, there's a lot of it's perception. There's been movies and disasters, and rightly so. It's been a risky endeavor in some ways, but technology improves daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and the reactors that are coming online now are smaller. They're much more easily contained than the older style, and you can see that this is actually trending in the right direction for that. But it is a clean alternative. It really is. The downside is disaster, but not on the production side and not on the actual generation of electricity or power.
Well, it doesn't hurt that one of the co-founders of Greenpeace, Dr. Patrick Moore,
good point,
says, nuclear power generation is the way to go. If you want to get off CO2, this is where we got to go. So don't say, I want to move away from this and no to that. We need this.
Right. No, and I think we're seeing a lot. It's coming back strong. And again, you get the black swan event like Fukushima, which really has a negative effect. And it takes 5-10 years to come away from that. But the technology is sound. We know it works. It's just a question of getting more reactors online, and then the supply-demand dynamics really are going to take over, and we should be in a very strong uranium market.
And from everything that I've been reading, it really is going to be China and India that are going to be pushing the need for more uranium because they are moving to nuclear power.
Right, and it's, as you mentioned, it's a clean wave, and nuclear is in fact a green method.
Well, and if there are two countries in the world that need to get off coal, those are the two.
Yeah, you got it. Absolutely. Well said.
Because China and India produce the greatest amount of CO2 by burning coal to generate electricity.
They sure do.
The need is not going to go away. The uranium is a big part of the green economy moving
and
forward.
I think when you add that to the supply-demand scenario I mentioned, and that is well documented now, we're going in one direction right now.
So, pretty exciting time for the company.
It is. I'm glad we kept our fingers in the uranium pie. We changed the company a little bit a year and a half ago to include lithium, but we always kept the uranium assets because in the back of our minds we know where it's headed.
So, next steps for you right now as far as the company is concerned?
We have a drill program planned at our East Preston project with Sky Harbor in the spring here, in the late winter into early spring, and really it's on the potential verge of a discovery. We've done all the geophysical work we can do. They're target rich. East Preston is very target rich. So that risk reward I mentioned is compelling. If one of these drill holes happens to do what we hope it does, we'll no longer be a $4 million market cap.
You'll be hoping to make news headlines here.
That would be fantastic.
Hopefully in 2019.
Sure, shareholders have been through a rough ride. I think they deserve that. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in and sharing that.
Thank you.